はい、こんにちは。それでは今日もやっていきたいと思います。今日は、English Grammar In Use ユニット101から105をやっていきたいと思います。それでは、やっていきましょう。用意スタート。Your English is good, but you speak English well. Susan is a great pianist, but Susan plays the piano well. Gary's father is a well-known writer. How are you today? I'm very thanks. Darren is a very fast runner. Darren can run very fast. Kate is a hard worker. Kate works hard. I was late. I got up late this morning. Have you seen Tom lately? Sarah wasn't very friendly, Patty. She hardly spoke to me. We've only met her somewhat twice. We hardly noticed each other. We tried hard to find a job, but he had no luck. I'm not surprised he didn't find a job. He hardly tried. Your writing is terrible. I can hardly read it. I like the hurting. Michael's hard work. How much money if you got? Hardly any. These two cameras are very similar. There's hardly difference between them. The exam results are very bad. Hardly anybody in the class passed. She said hardly anything. Oh, she hardly said anything. We got hardly any money. Or, we hardly got any money. I'm nearly always at your home in the evenings. I hardly ever go out. It's hardly surprising that you're tired. You haven't slept in 3 days. Since this situation has been serious, it's a hardly crisis. I didn't like the book. The story was too stupid. I didn't like the book. It was such a stupid story. I like the Liv and Joe. They are so nice. I like the Liv and Joe. They are such a nice people. Such a big dog. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's so warm. It was a great holiday. We had such a good time. It's difficult to understand him because he talks so quietly. You always think good things are going to happen. You're such an optimist. The book was so good that I couldn't put it down. It was such a good book that I just couldn't put it down. I was so tired that I fell asleep in the armchair. It was such a nice weather to spend the whole day in the beach. I was so tired I fell asleep. It was such a nice weather to spend the whole day in the beach. Somebody told me that the face is built in 100 years old. I didn't realize it was so old. It was such an old house. I'm tired because I got up 6. I didn't usually go so early. You know what is true. How can I say such a thing? I expected the weather to be cooler. I'm surprised it is so warm. You want to find the correct dictionary? They'll find such a word. I haven't seen some for long. I've forgotten who it looks like. I haven't seen it for such a long time. I didn't go so far. I didn't know such a long way. I'm sorry I'm late. There was so much traffic. I'm sorry I'm late. I was such a sort of traffic. I can't run very far. I'm not fit enough. Let's go. You've been waiting long enough. I can let you know tomorrow. It's soon enough. You never stop working. You work too hard. You are lazy. You don't work hard enough. I can't run very far. I don't have enough energy. Do we have enough petrol? Or should we stop in to get some? We got enough money. We don't need any more. Some of us to sit on the floor because of the went in the stairs. We don't need a stop of the petrol. We got enough. There are too much furniture in this room, not enough space. There was too many people, not enough chairs. The Joe had enough experience on the job. This bag is big enough for all my clothes. That shirt is too small for you. You need a large size. Does Joe have enough experience to do the job? We don't have enough money to go on a holiday right now. She had not enough driving license. Oh, she is too young to have a driving license. Let's get a taxi. It's too hot to walk the home from here. The bridge is just wide enough two cars to pass each other. The food is very hot. We couldn't eat it. And the food are so hot that we couldn't eat it. But the food is too hot to eat. These bags are too heavy to carry. The wallet is too big to put in the pocket. This chair isn't solid enough to stand on. It's a quiet home. It's pretty cold. It's rather cold. It's fairly cold. The percentage you have here, just great. I know lives near me. It is same region pretty often. We live in a quiet old house. Sarah has a quiet good job. Sarah has a pretty good job. I didn't expect to see them. It was quite a surprise. There was quite a lot of people at the meeting. I quite the tennis. It is not my favorite sport. There was so good. It was rather crowded. All pros are shy. It doesn't talk very much. These oranges are rather good. Where did you get them? My room is fairly big, but I prefer the bigger one. We see each other fairly often, but not so often as use it. Are you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. She was quite different from what I expected. Everything that they said was quite true. I quite the reviews. I haven't quite eaten it yet. I don't quite understand what you mean. Are you ready yet? Not quite. Let's try. It's cheaper. Don't go by train. It's more expensive. It's cheaper to drive and go by train. Going by train is more expensive to driving. You are older than me. You are more patient than me. The exam is quite easy, easier than I expected. The exam was quite difficult, more difficult than I expected. Can you walk a bit faster? Can you walk a bit more slowly? I like the bigger car. I like to have a more reliable car. Last night I went to the bed earlier than usual. I don't play the tennis much these days. I used to play them more often. It's too noisy here. Can you go somewhere quieter? The garden looks better just since it started up. I know very well. Probably everybody else him. How was your headache? The better? No, it's worse. It did very badly in the exam. Was expected. It's a long walk from here to the park. The father of the port. Let me know if you had any further use. You speak English well. Susan is a good pianist, but Susan plays the piano very well. Girl's father is a well-known writer. How are you today? I'm very well, thanks. Dada is a very fast runner. Dada can run very fast. Kate is a hard worker. Kate works hard. I was late. I got up late for this morning. Have you seen Tom lately? Sarah was very friendly at the party. She hardly spoken to me. We have met about twice. We hardly know each other. He tried hard to find a job, but he had no luck. I am not surprised he didn't find a job. He hardly tried. Your writing is terrible. You can hardly read it. My legs were hurting. I could hardly walk. How much money have you got? Hardly any. These cameras are very similar. There is hardly any difference between them. The exam was very bad. Hardly anybody in the class passed. She said that I hadn't anything, or she hadn't anything. We've got hardly money, or we hardly got any money. I'm nearly always in the evening. I hardly ever go out. It's hardly surprising that your time. I just slept 3 days. The situation is serious, but it's hardly a crisis. I didn't like the book. The story was so stupid. I didn't like the book. It was such a stupid stories. I like the Living Joes. They are so nice. I like Living Joes. They are such a nice people. Such a beautiful dog. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's so warm. It was a great holiday. We had such a good time. It's difficult to understand him because he talks so quietly. You always think good things are going to happen. You are such an optimist. The book was so good that I couldn't put it down. It was such a good book that I couldn't be put it down. I was so tired that I fell asleep in the armchair. It was such nice weather I spent the whole day on the beach. I was so tired I fell asleep. It was such a nice weather I spent the whole day in the beach. Somebody told me house was built 100 years ago. I didn't realize it was so old. It was such an old house. I'm tired because I'm up at 6. How did you get up so early? You know it's true. How can I say such a thing? I expected the weather to cooler. I'm surprised it's so warm. You are finding a print in the dictionary. There's no such a word. I haven't seen her so long. I forgot what it looks like. I haven't seen her for such a long time. I didn't know so far. I didn't know so such a long way. I'm sorry I'm late. There was such much traffic. I'm sorry I'm late. I saw such a lot of traffic. I can't run very far. I'm not fit enough. Let's go. We're waiting a long waiting enough. I'll let you tomorrow. It's soon enough. You never stop working. You work too hard. You are lazy. You don't work hard enough. I can't run very far. I don't have enough energy. Do you have enough petrol? Or should we stop in the gas? We got enough money. We didn't need more. Some of us started to salt on the floor because of the wetness here. We don't need to stop the petrol. We got enough. There's too much furniture in this room. There's not enough space. There were too many people. Not enough chairs. Does Joe have enough experience for the job? This bag isn't big enough for all my clothes. That shirt is too small for you. You need a larger size. Does Joe have enough experience to do the job? We don't have enough money to go on a holiday right now. She has not already enough driving license. Oh, she's got too young to have a driving license. Let's get to the taxi. It's too far to walk from here. The bridge is just wide enough for 2 cars to pass each other. The food is very hot. We couldn't eat it. And the food is so hot that we couldn't eat it. but the food is too hot to eat. These books are too heavy to carry. The wallet is too big to put in the pocket. This chair is so strong enough to stand on. It's quite cold. It's pretty cold. It's rather cold. It's fairly cold. I'm surprised you have heard it. She's quite famous. I know it's quite near me. I see that this is pretty often. We live in a quite an open house. Sarah has a quite good job. Sarah has a pretty good job. I didn't expect to see them. It was quite a surprise. There was quite a lot of people at the meeting. I quite like tennis. I don't know my favorite sports. The weather is so good. It's rather cloudy. Paul is rather shy. It doesn't talk very much. These oranges were good. Where did you get them? My room is very big. I have a bigger one. We see each other very often. Are you sure? Yes, quite sure. She was quite different from what I expected. Everything they said was quite true. I quite agree with it. The point quite eating yet. I don't quite understand what you mean. Are you ready yet? Not quite. Let's try. It's cheaper. Don't go by train. It's more expensive. It's cheaper to drive than go by train. Going by train is more expensive than driving. You are older than me. You are more patient than me. The exam was quite easy, easier than I expected. The exam was quite difficult, more difficult than I expected. Can you walk a bit faster? Can you walk a bit more slowly? I like the bigger car. I like the reliable car. Last night I went to the bed earlier than usual. I don't play the tennis matches these days. I used to play them often. It's too noisy here. Can you make them some quieter? The garden looks better since I tidied up. I know him well. Probably go to anybody else knows him. How's the headache? Better? No, it's worse. He did very badly in the exam. Was like expected. It's a long walk for me to the park, farther than I was told. Let me know if you hear any further news. はい、終了しました。なかなかやはり難しいですね。それでも、慣れるまでやっていきましょう。また明日やっていきます。それでは、バイ。